Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Reality NSFW. Before we get started tonight, here's a quick word from one of our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Four Sigmatic, a wellness company that is known for its delicious mushroom coffee. That's right. I've been drinking mushroom coffee for the first time my entire life this week, and I love it. Now, Four Sigmatic's mushroom coffee is real, organic, fair trade, single origin Arabica coffee. That's right. With lion's mane mushroom for productivity and chaga mushroom for immune support. So, in case you've been wondering, I've been starting my day with Four Sigmatic's ground mushroom coffee with lion's mane instead of regular coffee, and I love how it helps me focus so I can get shit done. It's amazing, and I absolutely feel an uptick in my productivity every time I drink it. It helps me focus like nothing else. Mushroom coffee is easy on my gut and doesn't leave me with that awful jittery feeling or midday crash. All Four Sigmatic products are organic, vegan, and gluten-free. Plus, every single batch is third-party lab tested to ensure its purity and safety, so you know you're getting the highest quality coffee and mushrooms possible. Now, you're probably thinking, does this coffee taste like mushrooms? I can guarantee it tastes like the coffee that you love. It brews dark and nutty and tastes incredible. And over 20,000 five-star reviews, and best of all, Four Sigmatic backs their products with a 100% money-back guarantee. Love every sip or get your money back. Now, we've worked out an exclusive offer with Four Sigmatic on their best-selling mushroom coffee, but this is just for Reality and SFW listeners. So get up to 40% off plus free shipping on mushroom coffee bundles. To claim this deal, you must go to foursigmatic.com/survivor. This offer is only for Reality NSFW listeners and is not available on their regular website. Once again, save up to 40% and get free shipping. So go right now to foursigmatic.com/survivor. They love it when we use that. And fuel your productivity and creativity with some delicious mushroom coffee.
Welcome back. Here we are. Big Brother Canada 9, week number 6. I'm Zack Hacker, joined as always by Bobby Goodsby and Brent Wolgamott. You guys, we said last week Beth needs to make a move. She needs to do something. We're here. How are you doing?
We're here. I'm happy to be here, guys. I'm happy to be with you. What a crazy week. We're coming off the heels of the invisible HOH, and now all of a sudden the invisible HOH is in trouble. Did we see this coming? Possibly, but what a week it's been.
It's amazing, too, because we thought the invisible HOH was a great twist, and yet the week was really very, blah, blah. This week, the HOH is totally normal, and yet it's been a fantastic week of feeds, especially with the characters involved this week. I will say that I'm intrigued to talk about it with you guys because I do think that Beth she caught a break in the fact that Roe won the veto this week, because I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if something else had happened, which she had really pulled the trigger because the boys really wanted Roe out. And the fact that he won the veto sort of, made that whole discussion moot. So what would have happened if, I don't know, I'm trying to think of somebody won the veto. Like if Tara had won the veto, or if, Tina won the veto and took Tara down, like what happens then? Because like Rose's not even on the block for the boys to have that discussion. They're having to have a discussion about Vic being on the block against Tara, which is inordinately a different discussion to have than if it had been against Rose. So we can talk about all that, but it's been a fantastic week of feeds, and I'm so happy to be here. And to talk about that fabrication of an ending where Victoria pretended to be blindsided when we all knew that she knew it was coming. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it's been a busy week for me. I have not been as live feed active as I would like to be, so I cannot wait until the end of the show when Brent gets to tell me what happened leading up to that replacement nom, so I can hear a little bit more detail about this house meeting and everything that went down. But we opened tonight's episode, the Wednesday night veto episode, with Ro and Tara on the block and Victoria being thrown out as the backdoor target. I feel bad for Victoria this whole episode. As you said, she maybe fabricated that a little bit herself at the end, but the show is really going out of their way to have her putting her foot in her mouth all episode. We open with her talking to Beth in the HOH room, feeling really confident. Going into this week, would you have assumed that Victoria was going to be Beth's target?
No, I really would not have. I don't know where you were at, Bobby, but I do think that everyone had sort of come around to the idea, like, hey, I know we all have our interests in terms of who we would rather keep in the game, but Roe is a threat to a lot of us. And, he's won 2 vetoes. He seems to be popular with Canada. At that time, he'd only won 1 skip the dishes, but obviously we saw in this episode he won 2. And so I would have thought that most everybody would have really wanted to get Roe out, but it seems to me that Beth really never had any intention of getting Roe out. Like, yeah, she put him on the block, which sounds crazy, but she never really wanted him out. She wanted Victoria out the entire time. I don't know if she was going to get cold feet about it in the end if he hadn't won the veto, but he won the veto, and so that made her decision pretty easy and straightforward.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I thought it was going to be Roe. I think everyone thought going into this week, Roe was hands down the number 1 target. I mean, he has been for a couple of weeks now, and he just keeps sliding by. And I think that we all look at this week as, okay, well, Vic just worked with that side of the house. She helped them get someone out that they wanted out. And now here we are. It's time to take out Roe. It's them doing her a favor. And no, Beth finally decided to come out and play. I think that this move to go after Vic, I think it's a huge boost to her. I think that she actually benefits from this move because it cements her as the one girl that they're definitely going to be working with, the 2 boys. And the boys, I think it's a terrible move for them. I think they're really going to be screwed over with this move.
Can't say how bad of a move this is for Jed and Ty. I've seen so many people on Twitter, because I talked about it on Twitter a couple days ago, and so many people said, "Oh, it was out of her hands." That that she had to put Victoria on the block. It was out of their hands. The boys just had to let it happen. I'm sorry. Beth is willing to do whatever those 2 boys want her to do, specifically Jed. Okay, like if they would have put their foot down and said, "Absolutely not. Like, we cannot have Victoria on the block because she will not put us up. Yeah, she might put you up, but you won't go home. Like, she is on our side. Like, you cannot let this happen." But instead, they are so snowed by Brayden. They are so snowed by Tina that they think those people are working with them, and they're letting someone go home in V. Let someone go on the block in V, who loves them and is telling the truth when she says, "Look, I'm with you guys. I don't want anything to happen to you." Yeah, she might have had her issues with Beth, but she's on the side of Jed and Ty. She loves them because they're so hot, and she wants to be in with the cool kids. And I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth. And that's the tea about what is really happening here. And the fact that they even let this discussion happen, I think they were just assuming, you know what? Roe can't win 3 vetoes in a row. It's going to be Roe. Like, I think they thought that we can have this sort of discussion about Victoria, but yet Roe's going to be the one who ends up going home. And then he spoiled their plans by winning the veto. So yep. It's really their fault, in my opinion, Jed and Ty, by even letting this discussion percolate at the beginning of the episode when it really shouldn't have been a possibility to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, this has been their story, and I use they as the Sunsetters all along, right? They're willing to play out way too many scenarios, talk about things way too late. When
you know what? They misnamed themselves. They are not the Sunsetters, Zach. They are the Ditherers. That is who they are. They dither, okay? They look at all sides, and they talk about everything, and this possibility and that possibility, and like, man, we'll weigh the options, blah, blah, blah. But no, they dither while their alliance is burning. That is the tea.
Yeah, it's a mistake. We got to watch them like just rationalizing this so much at bath time. I don't know what that is. I need to have game chat conversations with my bros at bath time. That sounds awesome. Right. But yeah, they're just saying, "Oh yeah, remember LT?" Or they're digging up anything they can to rationalize why this is a good move for them, and they're just going along with it.
I can't even believe they brought her up. Like, I mean, that is so 5 ages ago, Bobby. Like, there was this terrible. Like, again, I can't get over the fact that Jed and Ty let this happen. Like, I mean, he ostensibly threw the HOH competition to Beth to let her have it. I mean, in my opinion. And then once she has it, he has to be able to put his foot down with her and say, "Look, no, this cannot happen. And then they let it happen. And now it looks like she's probably going to go home. And, I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to get a jury buyback, but the fact that Queen Bee is going to go home this early in jury really sucks. It really does.
They literally were just trying to find any excuse as to why this is good for their game, or how they can rationalize it, or how they can say, hey, Vic, you know what? This is why we have to do this. Nothing gets you. Thanks for all the help, but bye. Because look what you did to LaToya. They're trying to find any excuse, but you're 100% right. It's terrible for their game. She's 100% on their side, never going to turn against them. And this is good for everyone else in the house's game except for theirs. They should have been more of an advocate for getting someone else out, because I think if they would have started this week drilling into Beth saying, hey, we're not going to make this move. This is not good for us. We do not want to do this. We really, really need to stick with the plan here. She's working with us. I think that Beth would have foiled and actually done it. I really do. I think she would have been
agree.
Okay.
And no tea, but I don't hear this on other podcasts. There's just sort of I see they're saying what other people in my Twitter mentions are saying, which is that Jed and Ty really had no recourse here. And I am here to tell you that y'all are stupid. That is not the tea. That is not the truth. Jed and Ty could have stopped this in their tracks from the beginning. Again, they got out in front of themselves because they were like, you know what? It's probably not going to even matter. As long as Roe doesn't win the veto, we're all good. And he already won the veto twice. So how? It ain't going to happen again. And then it did happen. That shows you how bad they are at this game.
Yeah. All of these people, instead of proactive gameplay, they just like you said, they dither all week long until there are no moves left to be made other than the one that someone else has made. That's the issue. They're going to need to throw Kiefer in that category as well. All these people are never going to actually be able to pull off a move in their own best interest if they keep continuing to entertain option after option after option.
Oh, yeah, and Kiefer is the king ditherer, except when it comes to his hatred of Roe. That is the one thing he does not dither about, okay? He hates Roe. I love that little shot they gave us, bless you editors, of the skip the dishes when Roe won again. And Kiefer's there's no way he's going to win. And then he did. It was just beautiful. Mwah. Chef's kiss on that, yes.
First off, never heard the word dither so much in my life until tonight. But second...
I thought of it. I heard it in a sermon. I had my dad was listening to a sermon and they used the word dither, and I'm like, that totally describes these three people. The triangle, they are ditherers. That is what they are.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I'm going to start using it all the time now. But yeah, no, it this week just went completely south for them. And Kiefer, what is with the hate? Come on, man. Let it go. It's really bothering me.
Well, we talked about this the first time. He wants to be Canada's favorite. And he keeps seeing Roe get voted Canada's favorite about things. And, Kiefer just wants to be loved. I feel so bad for the guy. He's run into Tina and Tara. They're lecturing him. He's ferrying information back to everybody, just wanting to find a home. And I just don't see anything good for Kiefer here. I continue to think he's in a good spot, but I am so frustrated by his gameplay here.
Yeah,
I
know.
Go
ahead.
The only thing I worry about his game is if certain people get into power, he could honestly go up as a nominee, no problem, no questions about it. Even his own side that he thinks he's with, they're willing to cut ties with him sooner rather than later. I honestly think that if they get in a certain position, he's going to be walking out the door because of them and at their hands before anyone else. So I think he really needs to look at the powers that be and see that maybe that's not the best opportunity for him. And I know he's blinded. He's been blinded this whole game. He thinks that these people are the best thing to ever happen to him. And then as soon as he walks out the door, they're like, us three, we did it. No mention of him whatsoever as being part of anything. Even when he was HOH, it was always those three did it, and he's the HOH. So I honestly believe that he's in big trouble if that side gets into power and certain people like Roe win another veto. He is totally in a position where he
Exposed,
can be screwed and backdoored.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the other thing with that too is that there was one line, I can't remember if Jed or Ty said it. I think it was Ty, but he said, I don't know if she's the right move. Tina and Tara are a waste of an HOH, but they're not our numbers. And that's going to be the decision on where they come down on that. Are they willing to attack their own numbers just to make a good, quote unquote, good move? Or are they going to just go for the floaters, the people who are not their numbers, or the people who are not making moves or being active in the game, to actually make that move there? I don't know. I see them going after Tina and Tara as a smart move rather than going after Kiefer. But
oh yeah, of course it is. Going after Tina and Tara is a smart move in so many ways. And again, they're totally blinded by that. Like number one, I feel like Tara's going to take up one of the final 2 seats. Like if you don't, again, it's like the old the problem that they had with Peely back in Big Brother Canada 3. Like if you don't get rid of her now, she's gonna sit at the end. So you might as well do something about it. Tina, on the other hand, Tina and Tara both would put up the 2 boys. They would put them up in a heartbeat, and they totally are oblivious to that. So it like, of course, it is a brilliant idea, and they're 2 votes. They're 2 votes that they like. I mean, in a game that's going to soon have 8 people in it, there are 2 votes, and that is, I'm just astounded that people are totally fine leaving them in the game to sit there like Heckle and Jekyll together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the fun things for me this week was we finally saw the thruples interests start to diverge. We were going into this week thinking we have these 2 like potential groups of 3 with the thruple and with the pre-90s. And that's nuts with the numbers getting as small as they are, that there are some solid potential groups of 3 going in there. But I think with both groups, we see their interests start to diverge this week. We see Beth wanting to target Vic. We see Jed and Ty coming around to the idea, but I think eventually going to realize this was not the right move for the game if they don't already want to admit that to themselves. And we see Kiefer, of course, going after Ro, whereas Tina and Tara are really ready to go after the guys instead and potentially join up. Do we see what long-term alliance structures do we see going forward? Is there going to be any damage to the thruple or to the pre-90s here? Or are they going to continue to work together?
I mean, they're going to continue to work together, in my opinion, until one of them gets power and does something that the other one doesn't want them to do. Like, Tara is totally lying to Kiefer right now. Like, for those of you not aware of this, like, Tara is lying to Kiefer saying, you know, oh, I'm going to target Ro and put Jed up as a pawn or something like that. But that is not the truth. She's going to go after the two boys. She's going to go after Jed and Ty. And he doesn't know that. And yet and obviously you've seen Kiefer and his inordinate hate for all things Ro, which is just boggling to me. It's honestly a little weird at this point. Like, I like making fun of him for it, but it's a little odd. Like I would, the only reason I hold him accountable is because I feel like Kiefer is a big enough gamer. He's like a fan of the game. The fact that he can't see like, hey, I might need to work with this guy, but he can't get past his hate of him is so annoying to me. Like, I feel like he should be able to see beyond it, and yet he doesn't seem to be able to, Bobby.
Yeah, no, it's beyond me. I honestly don't understand why he keeps so much hate in his heart for this guy, because it's like, it's literally so like he's just locked in. He has no other path in this game, that he's not looking at different routes or different, alternatives. He's locked into, he needs Ro out, and then he'll figure out everything else. When really the game is moving all around him, and he's not looking at what else is going on. He's looking straight ahead at Ro, and he needs to be looking at all areas of this game, because I'm telling you, this guy, he could be in some real trouble. Honestly, if Ro gets into power on the double eviction night, I think that's our best case scenario. Like, if he gets HOH, I am so stoked to see what will happen on Thursday night, and then how that will break open the game going forward. Because honestly, I feel like with a quick HOH like that, all in one night, and someone going home, I'm honestly really want to see where the layout of the game will end up once that happens, if it happens.
Yeah, that'll prove really interesting. The myopic vision of Kiefer's game. Not only that, he's selling information between alliances, right? He's taking what Tina and Tara are telling him, and he's given that to Jed and Ty. He's taking what Jed and Ty are telling him and giving that to Tina and Tara. That is definitely going to bite him in the ass. So you can focus on Ro all you want, but you can't sacrifice every other relationship in the house to make one move. That is a quick way to, potentially get invisible
since we're
seeing a Victoria.
Right. Well, since we're talking about that, I know Tracy, who is a big fan of the channel, has said before in the chat that she thinks that Kiefer is over-projecting his hatred of Ro in an effort to make Ro the house target and, really insulate himself a little bit. And obviously that may be his minor plan, Tracy, but I believe his major plan is just like he has an outright hatred for Ro and he can't stand it, because he talks about him like when seemingly there's nobody around that has any strategy whatsoever. Like, he just talks about him in a way that I feel like he just literally dislikes the guy.
I mean, that would be a cool move. I would hope that's what's happening. But if that is what he's trying to do, I think he's not doing it well. I think he's overplaying that hand.
Yes,
way too much.
100%.
Yeah. Cool. Well, next up, we get to see Beth and Victoria chatting in the game room, and we get a number of scenes like this throughout the episode where Beth and Victoria are trying to sell that they're working together, and neither one of them is particularly pleased about it because Beth is trying to backdoor Victoria, and Victoria does not like Beth very much. How did Beth do this HOH from your guys' stances? Did she, Bobby, what do you think about her HOH reign? Is she going to be targeted following this, or is this a good?
Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Beth's in a terrible spot. I don't think she's in a great spot, but I don't think she's in a terrible spot. I think Beth did the right move to protect her throuple from having anyone come in between them. Because I really think these boys could have some point cut out Beth possibly for Victoria. I don't think they would have, but they could have if they really needed to. Because I know that they felt like they could trust her just as much, maybe not as much as Beth, but right there. And to have her gone and to be able to get her out, I honestly think is a big thing for her game. Plus, it takes out one of the legs on the guys because those guys she knows are always going to take each other. And as far as this game goes, she knows she's always 3 in that throuple. And I honestly, the only thing I can think of is maybe Jed has a change of heart because he's got, love and feelings for Beth. But I really do feel like she thinks that she had to make this move, and I really think it was the best move for her. As for the guys, we've already gone over this, not great. And I think that the rest of the house is pretty pleased with this move because everyone found out who the hidden HOH was last week and how she lies and she's doing all this stuff. They know she's playing hard. I think the house is pretty happy about it. I just wonder what's going to happen going forward and how it's going to play out with the house.
So I will answer your question in terms of up until this point that you saw at the end of the episode. Yeah. I think that Beth has done phenomenally well. I think she got exactly what she wanted. She got her backdoor target on the block. She really didn't have to do much to make it happen because Ro won the veto, so she didn't have to piss off the boys. At this point in time, Beth gets an A+ from me. But some stuff that happens later on the feeds all the way through till tomorrow that makes her grade go down a little bit. It's like I'm going to be grading on the Harvard curve, y'all, where it's like it was an A+, and now looking at the way that everybody else is playing, it's more like a C. So we can talk about that when we get to the feed section. But my goodness, it's been a rocky. It's not been a straightforward week. Let me put it that way, as it never is with the Sunsetters. Again, they're ditherers. That's what they are.
There's like 2 components when I'm grading an HOH. It's like, did you get your target out? Did you make a good move? And then it's like, how did you use it to build coalition and build alliances in the house? Did you use this to make other people feel comfortable and build relationships? From what we saw in the episode, I thought Beth did well. I thought she did well with Tina. I thought she did pretty well to not make Victoria hate her here. Victoria should have been able to read some of these vibes a little bit better than she did. We get Vic after this talking to the camera about how great she is and not everyone can be a great player like me, while she's throwing out all these like fake reasons for them to be in an alliance, like the Ghost Peppers. And then she says like the Social Worker Alliance. I don't know what the hell she was talking about, but that's awesome. Beth almost just smile and nod, which she's normally shouting. Yes. So that should have been a good read, Vic, that was not happening.
Yeah.
But in Bethland, the good news continues because the next scene we get is Jed getting out of bed, giving her a kiss, saying, "I love you." Oh my.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think he said "I love you." I think he said, "I think I love you." I think that's worse. That's not worse. Like if you say you say the L word, but you put "I think" in front of it, I think that's terrible. Like Beth, I'd be bitter.
My fiance still says "I think I love you" to me, so should I be worried or?
Oh, I don't know. Right? I think I love you.
No,
how you say it though. If it's like "I think I love you," like that's cool. But if it's like "I think I love you," like yeah, I don't know about that one.
It's the tone, the dialect.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
No, I need to replay that scene a few times and try to read what Jed's trying to communicate there. Maybe he's trying to break it. This is his like Goodsby escape clause.
Quick poll of the 3 of us. Are Jed and Beth gonna date after the season? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, we're all down on this. Like, first of all, that boy's gorgeous, and he can have any girl he wants. And I think that she supposedly had a boyfriend coming into the house, but I've noticed he wasn't in any of her packages. And like, there's no way that this is happening. I'm telling you, it's like, they're good for each other right now. But then again, I tell you guys, I'm so wrong so many times about the longevity of reality TV show couples, because the thing I don't keep in mind is that, like, so often it's not about like the fact that they actually are into each other. It's about the fact that they're better together for their influencer brand than they are apart.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll see. That's the thing that, like, I don't think about these days. But if it's just the two of them, I think there's no way they're gonna keep anything going after this season.
She's gonna date Jed's brother after watching that video.
Right? Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So next up, as we said, Ro gets skip the dishes. This is the Ro show. This episode is all looking good for him. Are we on board rooting for Ro at this point?
I am. I mean, come on. I'm rooting for Ro and Braden. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Ro and Braden. By the way, I haven't been here since last Wednesday, but let me say, best thing that happened to Braden was Austin going home. Austin, love ya, girl, bye. We don't want to see ya because Braden is doing just fine without you. This is the Braden I wanted to see from the beginning of the season. Victoria did him such a favor, even though it was such a dumb move by the invisible HOH to target Austin again. But I'm just so happy because Braden is playing. He is giving us spicy diary room sessions when it comes to strategy. Like, he always gave us little spicy diary rooms before, but it was about, like, the way somebody's dressing or how hot somebody looks. We don't care about any of that stuff. I want to hear about the strategy involved and blindsiding people. And he is so into that now. And he's again, it's the big heads of the throuple that they think that all of these people are just fine letting the three of them stay in the game and control the votes and walk to the end. Like, how big is your head that you don't think that maybe Braden's double crossing us here? Maybe Braden realizes he doesn't want to be number 4, number 5 on the totem pole. Maybe Tina realizes she doesn't want to compete against you two guys and Beth going into a Final Four. Like, but they think that these scenarios are legit. Jed, Ty, and Beth all think that these scenarios are legit, that these people aren't coming for them when they are. It is amazing to me.
Yeah, and I've been a closet Ro fan this entire season. Like, I didn't want to say anything when it wasn't cool, but now that it's cool, I'm like saying, hey guys, guess what? The only thing I have a problem with is like how he talks to people sometimes. I just want to like jump through my computer screen and be like, Ro, like, this is why people are targeting you. This is why people don't want to work with you. Stop it. But I've honestly enjoyed watching him this game. And who doesn't love the underdog? The underdog's the one we always root for. I mean, 90% of the time it doesn't work out because the underdog's the underdog for a reason. But when they're in there and they're in the house and they seem like generally good people who are playing decently, we root for them. So I will say this. I have been happy with how Braden has been playing this week, and I completely agree with you, Brent, that having Austin out of this house has been the best thing to happen to Braden's game, and it couldn't have happened at a better time. It happened right when jury hits, which he's turning on the engine, and let's go, and he's actually playing a game. Having said that, after watching the last couple episodes, I really feel like the show and production is really boosting him more than maybe he should get credit for. I feel like some of the moves he's made, they have highlighted on the TV show, but they weren't 100% moves that he was actually pushing forward and getting through Beth and through that side of the house. I feel like he helped give his opinion, and he definitely tried to influence some things, but I feel like the show was already going that way. I feel like no matter what, Beth and that side of the house was already going to be moving that way because Beth had decided, and not to discredit him for at least influencing in some way possible, but I feel like the show is definitely hitching their wagon on their new favorite because their old favorite is going out this week possibly. So I really, really feel like they're really boosting him more than maybe he deserves right now.
I can see that. I think also, though, like, if he's subtly starting to weasel his way into these relationships, he is positioned in a good spot for those producers to gamble on him being there for a while and being a big character for a while. Because, I mean, if we're looking at Braden, like, I couldn't even tell you a single thing he did in the game other than like form alliances that never came to fruition or, hang out with Austin. But now all of a sudden this week, you've got people like Kiefer feeling very threatened. Braden is stealing his relationships. You've got people like Jed and Ty saying, when did Braden become part of our alliance? He's suddenly in our alliance, like making decisions with us. And all of a sudden, I think he could be a real power player. And yeah, I didn't see it. I know he's got connections in the BBCAN alumni community. I was really hopeful for Braden. He seems like a fun dude. But yeah, he's shown up in comps. He is weaseling his way into relationships, and he's in a spot, unlike some of these others, where he can pivot without pissing a lot of people off. So I'm really hopeful for Braden. Speaking of Roe, though, yeah, like when I had Hira on a few weeks ago to talk about who people's favorites were, Hira was saying, "Oh, I'm really rooting for Roe. I love Roe." I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Whatever. I'll just nod and keep moving.
Right.
But I think he's my rooting interest at this point. But it's between those two, between Braden and Roe.
Yeah,
I have a lot of faith.
I love their little duo. I love the fact that Braden is running information back to Roe. I love the fact that the throuple is making such a mistake by openly talking strategy. It's not just the fact that Braden has weaseled his way into their relationship. It's the fact that when he can walk into a room and they're having a strategy conversation and they don't change the conversation, they continue on talking about whatever conversation they were talking about in terms of the potentially backdooring Victoria or why they should do it or who she's coming after. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense for them to let Braden in on all of their thinking, and yet they seem totally fine with doing it. So I share Kiefer's. I love the fact that Braden's doing this. But if I were Kiefer, I would be upset with the fact that Braden, seemingly out of nowhere, has weaseled his way not only into the throuple but also into Tyshawn's bed as well. So I'd be nervous if I were him.
Yeah, did we ever find the legitimacy of all that? Because I didn't keep up with that. I didn't get to see.
There was okay, I'll just say this. So after we had our podcast, then the next night he crawled into bed with him. He waited till Tyshawn was okay. Let me back up. So the next morning, Braden was like, I don't know what happened. Like, it was amazing. I woke up and he was just there. But the reality of what happened was that he waited, meaning Braden, waited until Ty went to sleep and then crawled into bed with him and gave him kisses on the back of his neck. And then they woke up in bed together in the morning. So that's what happened. So there has to be a little something. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's anything big. I think it's just like harmless flirting, if I'm being totally honest. But there's definitely, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like, Brendan and Rachel, like there's definitely, it's like a 1.5 at this point. Like there's a little something there.
It's a blip on the radar. I like it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we get to the POV picks, and Vic is not picked, so the backdoor plan could not be going better. It's going to be Bray, Tina, Tyshawn, Roe, and Tara. Beth and Tina then are talking about how to use the veto, and Beth is, as I was saying, trying to appease TNT here. I think she did a pretty good job, and I want to talk a little bit about Tina's game this week.
Okay.
Because Tina is obviously very interested in protecting Tara, but in my opinion, Tina's played it pretty cool and not overplaying her position here or trying to go too hard for Tara and just letting something that's out of her control ride. I don't know what your read of is on Tina this week.
I mean, Bobby, I'm liking her game more. I mean, this is the horse she's decided to ride. Obviously, she could have ridden the Sunsetters, and we were mad at her for not seemingly taking advantage of the influence that she seemingly had. But this is the horse she's decided to ride with Tara, and she's done a pretty good job of it. Tara is not an easy person to work with. She puts her foot in her mouth, and she doesn't like to lie, and she has this like fake honesty thing that she likes to put off, and so it obviously makes Tina's job a little bit more difficult. But I think she's done a pretty masterful job this week of not only maintaining her position, like the boys and Beth want to take her to the Final Four, which is amazing in and of itself, that they think that they think a player like Tina, who's as smart as she is, would be willing to go to the Final Four with those three. That's amazing to me that they actually think that she'd be willing to do that. But as far as like handling Tara, I think she's done a pretty good job of that. And the fact that Tara hasn't had any major blow-ups throughout the week has also worked in her favor. So, like maybe she's learning a little bit too.
Yeah, Tina's been fantastic. Honestly, I've been impressed with her game since the very beginning. I think we all have. I think we all definitely, like you said, had our mixed feelings about when she rode the wave with Tara and just went for a twosome instead of sticking with the Sunsetters. But I think it's really panned out just fine for her. No one's targeting her. She's the last person I expect to go home in the double tomorrow. I think that even if they do end up targeting her and Tara's the first one to go in that situation every single time. So I think that she could really make some inroads, especially her ability to talk to people. She really comes off in a nurturing, comforting way that all these people feel like they can relate to, that they feel a sense of comfort from her, that even if she's lying about something, they don't see it as that. They just see her as, oh, well, she makes such great points. She's such a good person. I could see myself working with her for the long haul. I think she's in a fantastic spot. I'm so impressed with her game. Has it been slow? Yeah, but it's because she hasn't really had to do anything. She's just doing herself and being the person that she is in this house and making the move at the right time to the right people. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I think she's going to be one of those classic people who are really good at the game and really bad television, who we look back and are like, I'm sure she was great in the house. I'm sure you guys loved her. I wish she would have popped on TV a little bit more. But
can I just say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were done talking. I am nervous though, because after this fantastic season and what an amazing casting job they did, I think there is a non-zero chance that we're going to get 3 basic white women at the end. I think there's a chance that could happen. And Tara and Beth. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think so. I guess that's part of what I was saying too. I think Beth and Tina are emerging as like potentially really being able to work together, the way they're openly talking about their games that we got to see a few times. Even to the point of Tina saying like, the reason people work with me is because I present myself as trustworthy and like, you can take what I say to the bank. And like, that's, if you're not really working closely with someone to explain your game and how you're approaching conversations and relationships to them, is a bold move to make. So I think she feels pretty comfortable with Beth, and we might end up there, but I'm just glad we are going to get an end to this season, because as Ontario went into lockdown orders today, I was very pleased to see that did not extend to the Big Brother Canada production.
Oh, is that on? Because I tweeted about that and I was nervous about that. So that doesn't extend to Big Brother Canada production?
Nope. You're allowed to have up to 50 talent on site, and I guess they do not. So
fabulous. Okay, that's good, because I was nervous when I saw that Ontario, which obviously is home to Toronto, was putting down lockdown orders again, or stay-at-home orders. Sorry. And
really?
But then other people tweeted at me and said that they've already been on lockdown orders for like a while. But I don't know why they then announced it though. That was so bizarre. But whatever. As long as the show gets to finish, I'll be happy.
Hey. That show's going to continue, and we're going to be right back because here's a quick word from some of our sponsors. Woohoo!
By the time you feel thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. You can't focus, and you feel tired.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle that you're trying to maintain. It increases your brain power, boosts your productivity. It can prevent headaches, and it'll increase your focus. Not only that, it improves your skin and mood, and it can help with your digestion and give you energy. Wow, it also prevents bad breath and can help you lose weight. But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups? A gallon? The good news is that it doesn't have to be so complicated. That's why I start my day with Hydrant, because Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
Hydrant has created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer. Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes that your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc, and it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated. If you're looking for that extra boost of energy, there's also Hydrant Plus Caffeine, which contains 100 milligrams of caffeine from green tea. Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist. It also is loved by pro athletes, top performers, celebrities, and has thousands of 5-star reviews.
It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious and refreshing, and it comes in a variety of flavors, including iced tea, lemonade, and fruit punch. My favorite personally is the grapefruit. It's a classic, and I go back to it. It's delicious. Plus, this stuff is backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love it, you can send it back for a full refund. You really need to try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible, and it works.
Well, Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply, and you save even more with a monthly subscription. And it's so easy to get. We've got a special deal for our listeners to save 25% off your first order. We're not kidding here, folks. 25%. Go to drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter promo code SURVIVOR for 25% off your first order. That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor. Enter promo code survivor to save 25%. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
Growing up, cereal was one of the best parts of being a kid, but I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar and junk that you really shouldn't eat. I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, unhealthy food, and realized I basically can't eat anything anymore. I've been drinking protein shakes and powders for years to help with my workouts, but I finally found a delicious way to get my protein before and after my workouts. And with the New Year's, we're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has some amazing flavors you'll love. I know I do, but without all that bad stuff.
Hey, we're talking 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. And we've got some exciting news. Magic Spoon will be releasing 2 amazing new flavors this month for a limited time only. We're talking about cookies and cream and maple waffle. Do I now have 2 favorite flavors of Magic Spoon that I haven't even tried yet? Because I'm looking at my dream board right in front of me, and what's there? Cookies and cream and maple waffle. This is a dream come true. And if that isn't the most comforting, indulgent combination, then I don't know what is. This is the ultimate treat yourself combo. So make sure you get some while you can for a limited time. Or build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, one of my faves, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, and cinnamon, my absolute fave. Now, if you're listening in Canada, Magic Spoon now ships there as well.
That sounds about perfect for the maple waffle. If you want to get in on this, go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab the new limited edition cookies and cream, maple waffle, or a custom bundle of cereal to try it today. And be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 off your order. This offer is now good anywhere in the US or Canada, but only when you use our code at checkout.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR to save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. And we are back, and it's time for the BBCAN barbecue. It's another really dumb competition, and I'm so happy. This looked fantastic. The corny costume was so good, and Victoria was the best host for it. So they are going to memorize the great, play maybe the most literal game of cornhole I've ever seen, arrange some stuff on a grill, and take home an actual grill and the POV. What did we think of this competition?
I mean, whatever. Row one. I'm happy. I guess I was happy when row one. Like it was a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for, Bobby? It's a little simple. Like a little like I almost felt like I was watching like preschool or something. Like with just like the throwing the stuff and like memorizing this. I don't know. Like it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, so I was feeding my daughter when the competition started because I already knew the outcome. And I was like, okay, well, I want to see what the competition was because I heard about it. It didn't really make sense. So I started tuning in once the competition started. And I'll be honest, I had no idea how that competition worked. And it's still like kind of a loss for me because I didn't hear the rules. But I'm like, okay, so they're going to get these things and now they got to throw them onto there. But now people are locking in answers and others aren't. I'm still not sure how it happened. Kind of a weird contest. Some people were throwing it overhand. I think that was Tara. And I was like, that just seems like a terrible idea. But yeah, hey, I mean, I feel like this was kind of made for like bigger guys because I feel like, a little girl like Tara, it's kind of hard to flick that over.
Right.
There.
Well, hey, don't tell Tara that. She's been all over the feeds complaining that she was physically incapable of winning this competition. So I don't know.
Right. Well, somebody who wasn't physically incapable was Ty, and yet he really didn't come close. So like what he says he's the comp beast, they think he's the comp beast. He hasn't won anything. He's literally won nothing, correct? He has one HOH or no veto.
Hey, he's self-aware. I don't I don't mind it. He's self-aware that he sucks at these comps. So
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, the rest of his alliance and like half the house is just bragging to the cameras one-on-one that they're like God's gift to Big Brother Canada, and he's at least bagging on himself. So I'll take it. But yeah, he definitely should have been the hands-on favorite to win this, if not Roe. But really, the only competition is Braden. Braden did quite well. And this did look to be one of the tougher comps this season, as only 2 people were even able to get to the final puzzle phase. So I was impressed with the 2 of them. Like I said, maybe Bray is ready to step up as a power player in the house. I certainly think some of these comps are skewed toward his potential fandom. You know, I don't know how much he is into the show, how much day stuff he's going to be memorizing, but he's a big guy. He's going to be strong. I'm pretty hopeful for him going forward, but Roe is the veto king, apparently. Is anyone else ever going to win a veto around here? I don't know.
Don't mess with the Roe show.
I hope no one else wins. I really do, because honestly, I would love to see this storyline continue to play out. He's always going to be the target, and it's always going to be entertaining to watch them have to figure it out at the end of the week. It's made for great TV. Look at the week we got.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Roe show thing is a lot of fun. Again, that's a little self-aware. I can get into that. He's certainly not exempt from being a douche talking about himself, but I do appreciate how much fun he's having.
Yeah, it's really, he has to work really hard though to be a douche in my eyes, because he's been, on slop 4 weeks now. He's been nominated 3 weeks now. Had to win the veto 3 weeks now. Like, I think, and he was even nominated the week before he won the veto because that was against Josh, right? So he's been on the block 4 times. Like, I mean, I can't even keep track at this point. Like, when you have no power in the game, I think it's very. You can get away with more stuff than, say, Kiefer, who has had all the power in the game and says stuff like, oh, yeah, put me up against a vote against Roe and I'll win it. Canada will love me. Like, bitch, please sit down. Oh, gosh, he's got such a big head. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Oh, well, after this veto comp and Roe has it, pandemonium ensues. Everyone is freaking out because this backdoor plan is for real. Like you said, Brent. This is the easy way for the backdoor now. He's taking himself down. No one is pulling a trigger. Someone has to go up. So Beth is freaking out about the move that she is potentially going to make. And we see Victoria pitching Tina as a potential option to break up the duo. How strong is Victoria's pitch here? Is this even something, Bobby, that Beth should be entertaining?
I mean, honestly, I just don't think anyone's going to take her seriously. I think at this point, they've all made up their minds. They also think that she is a good game player. She has played a fantastic game. But now that they all know that they have it in their heads that she was the one who was the hidden HOH last week, or invisible. I keep saying hidden, invisible HOH last week. Yeah. And lied, that they just know, like look at Brayden. He went on the block. He almost went home. He knows he can't trust her. He's one of the votes. Then you have all these other people that have had some kind of difficulty with her in this game, and she's played a good game. So why not? You're really going to get rid of Tara in a week like this when you can possibly get out a big target? I just don't see anything she's saying working, even through the House meeting.
Yeah, I don't think it was going to work either, because her only other option was Tina, and the boys are not going to go along with putting Tina on the block, and neither is Beth for that matter. So they're not going to put Tina up on the block. If you want to really talk turkey, I suppose Brayden is an option to go on the block, but that shows you how far Brayden has got in with them now, that it wasn't really even discussed. I mean, Victoria didn't bring it up as a possibility. Maybe she should have seen it coming, but she doesn't need to see it coming if bananas are going to give her an in as to what's really going to happen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the diary room. I'm sorry to be coy with everybody. I feel like everybody who's watching this right now knows what I'm talking about. The fact that, so listen, this is not a spoiler as far as the episode goes, but I'll tell you insofar as Victoria knew that she was going to go on the block, and the rest of this episode at this point is fiction to me, because Big Brother, I don't know who was asking the questions in the diary room, but they didn't do a very good job at it. And they definitely asked some leading questions in a way to Victoria that really convinced her that, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble here. I am the backdoor target, and I need to go talk to Beth, because she knew that she was going to be the backdoor target. And then after she was nominated, like right after, like an hour after she was nominated, she told everybody, look, like bananas tipped me off, which is again what they call production is bananas. And then production said, stop talking about production. And then production got so mad that Victoria outed them to all of us. And Twitter hates production now that they put the entire house on slop and then put like bananas in the closet is like a sign, like, you know, like don't do that again, like as if that's gonna do anything. Like she already ratted you out, production. You already ruined The Blind Side. Braden, you saw him in the diary room talking about how like, well, look, we're trying to make some television here, like we're trying to get this Blind Side going. Do you feel me? But all of his efforts totally wasted because production tipped off Victoria that she was going to be the backdoor target. And that's why I'm so annoyed right now, because we could have had a fantastic television moment. Instead, what we got was wah, wah, when Victoria was nominated there at the end. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
Well, maybe that's the ultimate scripted DR that Braden gave us. Of maybe there's like a Cajun producer. That's why we're trying to make some television. I don't know. Maybe that's what we're getting. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, the rest of this episode is just trying its hardest to make us believe that Vic is going to be blindsided and this is going to be epic and there's going to be fireworks. And like we just get clip after clip of Vic saying, you know, this would be heartless. Anyone who does a backdoor, that's shameful. Like, yeah, pretty much the whole.
That's the thing. That's the thing. She's not lying. Victoria's not lying in that she's in with the boys. She doesn't want to do anything to harm them. Maybe she might put Beth on the block, but she's not going to put up one of the boys with Beth. So like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she could potentially put up Jed. I don't know. Like she would never put Jed and Ty on the block. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. They know that, and they still let this happen. So I sympathize with Victoria in that she's telling the truth on a lot of what she's saying to these people. But the problem is that she has lied on so many things at this point and done some irrational things. Like, again, the whole thing about targeting Vic and telling Ty, like, if you use the veto, I'm going to put Ty on the block, even though she really never did it, but she threatened it. Like, that makes people not trust you. And so now they're in a position where they're like, well, maybe there's nothing we can trust that she says. Maybe we don't want to look like fools and get had. And that's the thing. People don't want to look like fools in reality television more than anything. It's okay if they got, but they don't want to look like fools. And Victoria, they have her dead to rights right now, and they want to pull the trigger, put her on the block, and make sure they send her home. So that's what they're going to do. Point blank in the period. No more discussion. Victoria is out of the house. You heard me.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I don't even know how much of this to talk through of the rest of the episode, but there are two bedside chats that I want to talk about. One, yes. Tara is weeping because she feels so bad doing this to Victoria. How much of this are we meant to believe?
I think this is for show. She's having a moment.
100%.
Like, no, I don't believe much of it. Yeah.
No, this is her just trying to look good for Canada, right? This is not at all legitimate. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she doesn't want to look like a bad person. Yes.
Yeah, cut it out.
She knows that Victoria is about to get backstabbed here.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other one is when Victoria is in the bedroom with Jed and Ty. They're all lounging about, and she's saying, "No, I would backdoor Ro. I would never put you guys up. Like Ro would definitely be my target going forward." How is this not a wake-up call to them? That like. Oh shit, we could go another week and still not get blood on our hands, still not be the shady guys who did a backdoor on Ro. She's willing to do that again. She's got one more shot to fire, and they're just sitting there like cheesing as soon as she leaves the room, like, oh, I can't believe this. It's almost like they've stopped playing. Like they couldn't make a decision for all week, and then they made a decision, and they are not entertaining any other moves. They are done.
Honestly, I feel like...
At this point, go ahead, Bobby.
Oh, I feel like at this point in this moment right here, they're finally just kind of digging the fact that they're going to backdoor someone. I really feel like they're kind of cheesed by that they're like, okay, like we're making a cool move. This is going to be good TV. Like they're not thinking game wise. They're not thinking, hey, we could really be the ones to turn this around if we get Kiefer on our side and we could make one more person flip. We can flip this whole script and really work out to our benefit where she owes us. No, they're kind of looking at it as, oh my God, this is going to be hilarious how she thinks that we're playing with her and we're not, and how it's going to be blow up in her face. That's the script here. And that's why I feel like they're not as great of players as maybe we gave them credit for earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and again, the fact that they are so oblivious. I mean, like, obviously, I know that, she leaves the room and they're cheesing about, oh my God, we're going to pull this off. And obviously, I do think that in some ways they sort of fell in love with the idea of a backdoor rather than the actual backdoor itself. I mean, and that happens in Big Brother. But also the fact that they can't see that. Again, I cannot stress this enough, that all of these people are lying to them. They have options for other backdoors, and yet they never even saw them coming because they're like, well, we have to put Victoria on the block because we're good with everybody else. We don't believe Tara would put us up on the block. We don't believe Tina would. We don't believe Braden would. And yet all of those things are true. That even Roe has got them snowed at this point. Roe would totally go after both of them at this point. So like they think Beth, Ty, and Jed think that all of these people are totally fine letting a trio just waltz to the end. It's amazing to me that they do not think to themselves, hey, if everyone's playing self-interested here, this isn't good for most of these people. So what can we do to mitigate that? I feel like it would have been in their best interest to sort of form an alliance with maybe some other trio. Like, I don't know, like, but again, this is like, last week or the week before, but it would have been good if they could have done something where another trio. That's the only way something like this is going to work, where everybody feels like they're vested, is if it's like a trio plus a trio. That way everyone feels like they have power. But when it's like one trio and like a bunch of singletons and like one duo, no one's going to let you walk to the end. That's crazy talk. The fact that they can't see it is just bonkers to me.
Yeah. Well, I just want to put it out in the universe for those guys, for anybody. Getting rid of a goat is not a waste of an HOH. Like, you don't want goats in the game if you're a player. That's a bad thing to have.
Especially if you're a player like this. If you're a player of stature, if you're a player who could win the game, you want to get goats out of the game. That way they have to take you to the end. There's no other choice. They have to take somebody who has some substance to their game to the end of the game. They can't take the goat to the end of the game. It's great to get goats out of the game. It does feel like a waste at the time, but it so pays dividends in the long run.
And I think that Tracy brings up a good point in the chat. She says the guys, even Keith, realize that if Vic survives a backdoor, then she'll be known as one of the greatest players. I think they really do feel like if this is something she survives, they might as well just write her the check because she's going to win the whole thing. And I think that's an aspect in their head that they want to be the biggest player, and they feel like she's really threatening them in that category.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point. If they're genuinely believing that, I think they're wrong. But I do get that. But we get to the veto ceremony. Roe uses it, obviously. It's another corny point of the episode. Roe's got rhymes. And then Beth uses the spicy against spicy V, that was fun. Victoria did her best to act shocked and angry. And at this point, I am stoked on Beth. I wanted Beth to wake up and make a move for herself and not for the guys. And at this point, I thought she did it. And I thought she's had a really good HOH so far up to this point.
And she did. And now we're going to talk about the feeds. Can we go to the feeds?
Feed section. Let's go. Tell me what we're missing.
Okay, so this is spoilers for after the episode, but obviously, again, as I said, they're ditherers. They can't help themselves. That's what they've done. So it won't surprise any of you to realize that the trio has continued to view their options, even though they decided we're going to backdoor Victoria, we're going to blindside her, we're not even going to tell her it's coming, we're going to all be in on it, and then we're going to hit her with it at the veto meeting. We're going to blindside her and backdoor and put her on the block and send her home, and yet even after that happened, of course, V's not going to take it lying down, but she has done everything. She's thrown everything against the wall. All the stuff that she's saying, none of it should work. They should just be set. Here's the thing about them being indecisive. The thing about the trio being indecisive, and again, they're like, they think that this is their best attribute. The fact that they look at everything from all sides. They evaluate all the options. We dither. That's what we do. And so once you do that, the people who are on the other side of the house, who, again, that's how stupid they are because they think everybody's on their side. But people on another side of the house who have their own interests and their own agenda Tara realizes, oh, you're evaluating keeping Victoria instead of me. You might send me home. You might prefer that Victoria stays instead of me. That's a red flag to me. Tina, same thing. Tara's her ally. Obviously, if she hears that the boys want to keep Victoria and back out of the move and send Tara home, that's bad. Brayden knows that Victoria was the invisible HOH because she revealed it after she was backdoor. She revealed to everybody I was the invisible HOH. And so he's like, oh, so you were lying to me. You were the one who got Austin out. We cried to you, and yet you wouldn't tell us that you were. You cried to us, and it's just a mess. Anyway, the point being, I'm not going to go into everything, but there was a house meeting yesterday, and Victoria and Tara and Ro and a few other people got into it. Victoria tried to make some headway. Obviously, the boys want to keep her, but they know they don't have the other votes. They know they can't convince Beth. Beth definitely wants Victoria to go because she doesn't want to be the idiot that backdoored Victoria and then ends up on the block. Like, can you imagine Victoria winning HOH next week? Of course, she's going to nominate Beth after that speech that she just gave her. Yeah. So Beth doesn't want that to happen. And Brayden wants Victoria out. Kiefer wants Victoria out. And obviously Tara wants, and Ro, girl, write the check. Victoria's gone. I just saw on the feeds update from 3 minutes ago that they're going to tell Victoria that she's going to be evicted after dinner tonight. So somebody at me after dinner, and we can watch the feed. I'm sure she's not going to take it lying down. She thinks she's the best player ever. But they have really shot them. Beth and the boys have really shot themselves in the foot again by waffling over this decision. And I don't think it's going to change anything in that I think that the people who are going to come after them were already coming after them, but it just solidified the fact that people are like, you know what, we're really pissed at you for waffling and for entertaining, like Tara, for instance. She might have felt bad and been talked out of maybe not putting up both of the guys. But now she's like, fuck y'all. You know what? You're playing with my life in this game. Beth wants to go to Tara and be like, well, what more can you give us, Tara? Like as if the fact that you waffle does not grant you any more substance in the game. That's not how Big Brother works. And so they're drunk with power. They've been in power for too long. I pray to God that somebody wins HOH during the double or during next week. So that, and in fact, I don't even know if I want it to be during the double, because then I feel like we won't get the consternation of the trio self-imploding if it happens during the double. But on the other hand, if they don't win, and if the opposition doesn't win during the double, I almost feel like the trio might steamroll. So I'm kind of I'm of both worlds about this. So anyway, that's a long-winded answer to say that Victoria's still going home, but the trio did themselves no favors. Beth didn't gain any clout for any allies that she thought she did because she's waffled so much here at the end. But it's still going to be the same answer in that V's going to go home and the trio is still fighting for themselves because nobody else is on their side.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
Lost a lot of ground. I mean, that sucks the way this week worked out. Like I said, I was rooting for Beth. And yeah, I think she was someone I saw as potentially being able to pivot because one of these guys will go home and she will. It very well may be Jed and not Tyshawn, in which case I think she's not nearly as closely tied to him and they may pivot away from each other to a degree. And this may become more of a dynamic alliance. I think she's lost a lot of that ability right now. I don't see her being able to swing to Tina and Tara at all. I don't see any of that.
Oh yeah, and she is not. She's not only lost it because of that. Beth has lost some of her game because of some of the actions of some of the other players, and also because of Jed's dick. Like the fact that they were getting it on in the Big Brother house. Like she suddenly changed her mind. It was like if you asked Beth like 3 days ago, she would have been fine breaking up Jed and Ty. Like she knew she can't go to the end with them. Now, after playing around with Jed in bed, she seems totally fine with taking those two boys to the end. It's like, seriously, it's crazy. And also like the fact that the house guests inadvertently have changed her mind because Beth was convinced that I can't go to the end with Jed and Ty, but yet Tina and Tara and some other people have been telling Beth, you know what? You're making the biggest move in the game. You're getting Victoria out. This is amazing. Of course you could beat the guys at the end. So if you say so, we would never, the boys haven't won anything. You've won something. You've made moves. You can beat them at the end. So now when you tell her that, now all of a sudden she doesn't feel the need to betray the boys anymore. And now she's fine going to the end with them, which is, of course, what none of us want. We want to see Beth make a move against them eventually and pull the trigger. But now she thinks, oh, I can win because I've made this move and they haven't done anything. So I can take them to the end and still win the game. Basically, I can have my cake and eat it too. And that's not going to happen. If those two guys get to the end of the game, either one of them, I think they are a winner from their social game alone.
Doug wanted me to ask you, actually, Brent, here, and I just pulled it up right here. He was in the chat, and he wanted me to ask you this. Of course, I lost it right when I say that.
You interrupted me.
Go ahead.
And you didn't even have it on your list. You didn't even know what question you were going to ask. That's typical. I was treated better over at RHAP. What the fuck is this? Oh, my God. And they fired me. Seriously, what is this?
Dang it. Where did it go? Okay, I lost it. But basically,
what did he say?
Weird. That's so weird. I have no idea where the question went. I had it pulled up on my phone and it's just gone. And now someone's trying to call me. I lost it. I'm sorry, Doug. I lost your question. It's in there. I'll try to look for it after the show, but I've already delayed too much time. Basically, yeah, I agree completely with you. I think that Victoria's gone. She's literally lost any chance she has in this game to prolong her life. And as far as everyone else goes, I'm very interested if Jed goes home soon, because just like you said, I think if Jed goes home, which I think he should be the top target, because I think Beth and Ty will go two different directions. I still think that they'll be close with each other, but I think they'll go two different directions, and that's the best move for the house. Better than Ro going home, better than anyone else in this house going home is targeting Jed, hopefully for them at this double eviction, getting him out, and then just seeing where the chips fall, because I think that's going to make the most interesting gameplay going forward. And I'm sorry, Doug, I'm looking again.
Well, I think that puts Ty in such a good spot. If Beth and Ty splinter, I don't see Beth being in a great spot anymore, but Ty's got Brayden, Ty's got Kiefer. Ty is going to be in a better relationship with Tina and Tara. I think he is in a significantly better spot than Beth if Jed does go. I don't think the same could be said for Jed if Ty were to go, because they're going to still be that duo. So it should be interesting. As we come up to the double eviction tomorrow night, what are our ideal scenarios? Obviously, my first thought is I want Ro to win. Because he'll sit the boys next to each other and he's going to be flashy about it.
Yeah, but that doesn't give me what I want though. I mean, I know that's great and that's cool and I'll take it, but I really would rather Tina win. I would rather Tara win. I would rather Brayden win. And Brayden was talking today about how I don't want to win HOH, but he said he would if he knew he had to, because he knows he can't let the trio win again. So if Brayden won and he nominated 2 out of the 3 of them and betrayed them, like that would be so spicy. Oh, that'd be delicious. So I'm here for any of that. We'll see. But if somebody if Jed or Ty wins HOH, obviously they're gonna. I think they'll probably maybe they'll try to backdoor Ro. I don't know. They can still backdoor. There's only 8 people. There's 8 people left in the game right now, so they can try it. But I don't know. I think I'm not sure what they would do at that point. I'm not sure who would. Maybe they would put up Tina and Tara as pawns and try to get Ro out of the game that way.
Yeah. That's what I think would happen.
And then if Ro wins the veto, then just send Tara home. I don't know. Probably.
I think it goes Ro, then Jed, then Tara as like the 3 potential people going home. I don't think anyone else really touches the block unless something crazy happens.
I don't like that world, but yeah.
There is a way that could happen. I will say that if like the 2 boys go up on the block, if Jed and Ty go up on the block and like Beth wins the veto and uses it on Jed, then Ty's up there by himself. Child. Yeah. I don't know. Like that's one way he could go home, and he's playing a masterful game right now. So I don't know if that would be devastating for me if that happened.
Yeah, well, tomorrow night is going to be exciting. We are going to see Spicy V walk out the door and the double eviction, and potentially find out if there's a jury buyback that we've speculated on. The theme this season of Big Brother Canada, though, has been expect a twist and get nothing. So I would not go into this expecting a jury buyback. I think it may just go standard, but we'll see.
And potentially with this, if they do have a jury buyback after this double eviction, they could still potentially have a triple eviction. So it's not out of the realm of possibility maybe that's why they're doing this right here.
Yeah, I swear to God, they could if they see the coronavirus approaching and variants and whatnot, I could be like, we'll have a triple and we'll have a double and we'll get this. Let's get this shit done. Like I can see that happening.
Yeah. Oh man, I do want a Jerry buyback. I don't want a triple. I don't know.
I'm right there.
Yeah.
How do I want this to go?
Yeah.
Well, you guys, this has been awesome. I think we did a really good job. Anything else we need to touch on?
Fantastic season. Really excited. Really bummed that I'm so bummed that Victoria's gonna go home because I really wanted her to go all the way. I really wanted her to be like Rachel Riley and just like kind of play very badly at times, but very ballsy and just make it all the way. She got very unlucky that Roe won the veto here because if Roe doesn't win the veto, I think the boys really are scared of Roe enough. They would not have let this move happen. But he did. So here we go.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic season. You know, when you play like Victoria's played, where you're the cockiest player to possibly be in this house, and you feel like nothing can touch you, it's all going to come crashing down one day, and it's done it this week to her. So it's been a lot of fun. And then find me at Twitter at Goodsby Bobby if you want to see me tweet once a week. I will be there.
Right? Yes, you can find me at One Lucky Gay. I was tweeting my butt pic the other day. It was very fun. If you don't have I know Zach, you don't have Twitter, but bless you. I think I put it on Instagram too, so you probably had to see
you
it
did.
there.
I was camping with my family, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, it's Brent Hess.
Yeah, right. I'm living my best life. Hey, let me just say, for those people in the chat that have an issue with it, y'all lose 50 pounds when you're 46, 47 years old and see how you feel. Because I'm living my best life right now. That's all I can say.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's great. And I'm at Zack Hacker Writes on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook. I have a new book out. If you want to check that out, head over to Amazon.com, type in Zack Hacker. It'll come right up. But otherwise, thank you for listening. This has been a blast, and we will see you next week.
Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck.
Researched and developed for 3 years to be made by people, not patients, Lucy's created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually does taste great, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, even in the gym. I'm so excited that Lucy is sponsoring us because one of my best friends in the world, he's trying to quit smoking. His girlfriend's been getting on him for years. He's a big menthol smoker, and the wintergreen flavor is a really nice substitute for him that he absolutely loves. So this is the thing that you need to check out if you've been trying to kick your tobacco habits.
I have a family member that's tried the pomegranate, and they say it's one of the greatest tasting gums they've ever had. We're not talking nicotine gum. We're talking any gum. So if you've been discouraged by other nicotine gums, try the pomegranate. And also for the lozenge, the cherry ice is allegedly the best. And you know what? I believe them. But as far as enjoying anywhere, I heard at the gym, you get a little extra bump from the lozenge and from the gum.
Boom. It's 2020. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal, and a subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple, you don't even have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down.
Reality NSFW listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR to get 20% off all products, including gum and lozenges. That's Lucy, LUCY.co. That's right, CO, and use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. So that's lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code SURVIVOR, and we thank them for sponsoring the Reality NSFW podcast. Let's talk about something we could all use more of right now. Sex. Great sex. Now look, I love sex, Zach. I don't know about you. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. And I don't like a little bit of sex. I like a whole lot of sex. And so, guys, now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
Now, you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
Not only that, Blue Chew's made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package. No awkwardness, and you don't even have to leave the house.
Now, if you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Guys, this isn't me reading ad copy here. This is Johnny Fairplay when he knows action is about to go down. I grab the Blue Chew, I peel it open, chew it up, and I go, get ready, we're going to Pound Town. Someone is going over. Someone is winning a championship tonight. That's right. And that could be you, because right now we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code SURVIVOR. Just pay the $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, BlueChew.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And remember, when you support our sponsors, you help this podcast be possible. So please use our promo code SURVIVOR at BlueChew.com. And when it comes to eating better and consuming less sugar, let's be honest, most healthy snacks don't taste very good. They don't fill you up, and they certainly don't satisfy your cravings. This episode is sponsored by Monk Pack, who makes snacks that taste like our favorite sugary treats, but with less than 1 gram of sugar.
Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars contain less than 1 gram of sugar, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, and they're only 150 calories.
They're great for anyone following a keto lifestyle and the perfect snack for anyone who is trying to eat better or cut back on sugar and carbs without sacrificing taste.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm personally not a keto eater, but I love these nut and seed bars. I try to have one of these always on me for a snack because I'm usually trying to train for a new running distance I'm trying to hit. I think 2021 is going to be the year for my first full marathon, and I think Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars are going to help me get there because they're giving me the energy I need and the nutrition I need to make those health goals possible.
Wow. Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars have the perfect balance of sweet and salty, a crunch from whole nuts and seeds, but still manage to be soft and chewy. How do they do it? They come in delicious flavors like sea salt dark chocolate, pecan almond, and my favorite, no contest, love these so much, game changers if you will, the peanut butter dark chocolate.
So good. They're perfect for a quick snack to satisfy your sweet tooth without any guilt. Enjoy Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars as a quick breakfast, while running errands, or after a workout.
In addition to being keto-friendly, these bars are gluten-free, plant-based, and non-GMO. So with no soy, trans fat, sugar alcohols, or artificial flavors.
They really taste incredible, and you can't beat the low sugar nutrition or taste they provide. And by shopping online, you can avoid another trip to the grocery store by getting Monk Pack delivered right to your door.
Try it for yourself and see. And we have a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Monk Pack product by visiting monkpack.com and entering promo code SURVIVOR at checkout.
And Monk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whichever you prefer.
So to get started, just go to monkpack.com. That's MUNKPACK.com and select any product and then use promo code SURVIVOR. They love it when we do that at checkout to save 20% off your purchase.
Monk Pack, delicious, nutritious foods you can count on, and we thank them for sponsoring the Reality NSFW podcast.
Are you ready to enter the wild again? There's a chance no one has seen your balls in a few months. Don't ruin your first post-quarantine date with a ball fro. Would you show up to your first day of school without a haircut?
Manscaped is here to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. Johnny, how's your grooming been lately?
Oh man, I am sleek, aerodynamic. I'm like that new Tesla. I mean, I got a bunch of 5Ks coming up. I got a bunch of half marathons coming up. Oh man, I'm gonna run so fast. There's no friction between Johnny Fairplay, little Johnny Fairplay, and Home Sweet Home.
Oh, that's good news because Manscaped is here to help everyone else get on that level with their Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. It's the best hygiene tool for the modern man. Because of their ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology, your snags will be reduced while preparing yourself for post-quarantine life. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0 Essentials Kit. The Perfect Package 3.0 comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, waterproof cordless body trimmer, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for you to use when you're done quarantining.
The Perfect Package 3.0 also comes with the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Now, the Crop Preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant, which ensures that your afternoon stroll doesn't end with your balls sticking to your leg. They call that bat winging. You can eliminate that with a little manscaping, courtesy of the Crop Preserver. But the Crop Reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. It's made with the soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts that give your balls a boost. Now, subscribers to the Peak Hygiene Plan get a new replacement blade refill for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months. Don't be using no old razor. Come on. And making sure your trimmer stays fresh and clean.
The light is at the end of the tunnel, fellas. Treat yourself for making it through quarantine with the Perfect Package 3.0. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR. They love it when we do that. And your first date will thank you.